All right, everybody, we are having way too much fun in Trump Talk Studios today because I am here with Diane Ventura, the creator and founder of the Trump Towel. You see it in my studio all the time. And we, of course, have here our Pardon Roger Stone banner. I want to just take a few minutes to talk with Diane about the Trump Towel, about what's coming up with CPAC. It's still upside down. And all of this stuff. Why she started all of this. I know you guys know we talk about the Trump Towel all the time, but I wanted to talk to Diane directly so you guys know why I think it's such an important thing and why I love it so much. Diane, welcome to my studio. So glad to finally have you here, my friend.
Hey, Molly. Thanks for having me.
You are very welcome. All right, tell everybody, why did you start the Trump Towel? How were you inspired? And what are you doing with the Trump Towel as far as the movement is concerned and as far as our country is concerned?
Well, a couple things. I have to give a huge shout out to Michelle Terrace, her and I came together as partners because you need a business partner in this world. Mm-hmm. And I love Michelle Terrace, and she's a Pittsburgh girl as well. And if you've ever heard, don't use the Pittsburgh part against us, of course. If you've ever heard of the Terrible Towel, we thought it would be a brilliant, brilliant tool to have to show that we support our president.
Yeah.
We love our faith, flag, and freedom, which is what our president ran on, and is why we love our president, because he's bringing people together who love that we can practice our faith that we choose in America. We love our flag. We love our nation. We love the freedom that we have.
Yeah.
So the Trump Towel is a playoff of the Terrible Towel. But what it does is, biggest thing is, it shows your support for President Trump. That is easy to carry. You can use it for anything.
Use it, actually. I love to do it. Sometimes I laugh so hard at the left, I tear up, and I use it. It's perfect for that. Absolutely perfect. I've also used my Trump Towel, which this one here on the wall. That's why mine's a little wrinklier, because this one's nice and fresh. I've used mine at Trump International when the bench is wet. Dry booty. I have used mine. Maybe you're having a snack that's a little messy, but don't do it this way. When you're doing it for that, do it this way. Pro tip, you guys. Pro tip. If you're using it as a bed, because that way you can still then turn around. Boom. Trump. You're like, that was a delicious meal. Go Trump. See how easy? It's absolutely useful for everything except, Diane, drying my body.
Oh. I
have tried to dry my body with the Trump Towel, and most of my body remained wet, merely because, as you see, little towel, big Suzanne, but you have a solution.
There's a reason for that you bring that up. There's an oil base that's over top of this because it is a utility towel. It is not a towel for purposes of...
Don't dry your booty with this towel, people. This is what we're learning.
Or clean your glasses with it.
See, that might explain a lot of things, actually, why I couldn't read posts when I did that. But
it's a utility towel. It's used for pictures. You can see it takes amazing photos. And it has a longevity to it, and that is why it is super high quality.
Yeah.
But that explains. I didn't even know that you'd even speak of drying your body with this towel.
Of course I did, but that's why I'm doing that, because Diane, you have the solution to my problem.
I do. Yes. This is the Trump beach towel.
The Trump beach towel. You guys, now I know it's winter, okay, but I also know you're all working on your bikini bodies now, because if you're not going to have a bikini body by the time it's summer. You should also be preparing to have a beautiful beach towel out on this beach, out at the water parks, wherever you're at. You could be supporting the president and be dry, as opposed to where you will still be supporting the president, but you'll be wet.
One of the things that backed the process and the push to do something like this is, you and I both know, there are many organizations that we became friends through frustration of seeing different parties on the right and left.
Yeah.
Raising money, raising funds, and it wasn't going anywhere but to host parties.
Yeah.
And
that's a very important point, because for all the fun we're having with enjoying and laughing and just having fun with the towel is actually doing good work. And this is one of the things I'm most excited about, Diane. Your organization, the Trump Towel, has given now
$4,000. We have given
in a $1,000 donation to a Gold Star family. Over the last 4 months, they have donated $1,000 to 4 separate families. Am I correct?
That we've given the money to families that are directly in need. I'm sure your audience is familiar, if not, with George Colella, the Godfather.
Yeah, our Godfather. Yeah.
Michelle and I thought, you know what? We need somebody outside of our business to choose to do the research. He is boots on the ground, loves our military, loves our faith, our flag, and our freedom. And he works from New York City to Florida to bring awareness to the good things that our president has done for our nation. And he also has such a great connection with Gold Star families. And we asked him if he would be our ambassador to do the research for us.
Yes.
So we have a third party, not Michelle and I, going out and finding the families that are in need. Families that this $1,000 made a huge difference for them, that we can put it directly into their hands, not some organization that claims they're doing good stuff and what they're doing is having parties and everyone's rubbing elbows, but nothing's getting done. You and I are both workers. We're out there registering people to vote. Yeah. We're out there saying, look, your voice is your vote.
Encouraging citizen lobbying, all of it,
is your voice. So you have to get out there. You have to get registered to vote. You have to be active. You have to be aware of who's running for local parties. Your judges, your commissioners, your township zoning officers,
your party committee workers, all of this, you need to know who these people are because they're making powerful decisions without you if you don't know.
So many decisions that affect you at such a personal level, way more than who the president is.
Correct.
And that's been my passion for years, is literally schlepping, I guess is the word that my husband uses, that I go from fair, to farm show, to events in different areas. That and that's my message. I really don't care if you're registered Republican, Democrat, or Independent. What I do care about is that you're doing your research on people who are running for office, making decisions in your day-to-day lives, who are also supporting what you claim in your family that you support.
Yeah, and Diane, I think this is actually a new paradigm. A lot of people talk about, we are awake now. We had a whole silent majority who was asleep, and now the majority is awake. What does that mean to me? Well, that means you need to engage your government. You need to engage your party politics. You need to find out who people are running. You need to know what party chairs are making decisions for you. And Dan, point I got to make, we need to be supporting our Gold Star families. We need to be supporting our military, not through the government, not just through programs, but directly. And that's one of the things I really in my heart love that you're doing this, because this not only supports our president and moves our election agenda forward, it becomes an example for how we should be new citizens in the post-Trump era. Be engaged, be active. Don't wait for the government to do the job for you. We have to do it ourselves. That's the country we have. That's the country our founders gave us, and we should take it back.
Well, that's the vision that our forefathers and foremothers had when they created this American experiment that we're living in this day. It's only 250 years old. And if for some reason in the next 50 years, even 100 years, this American experience ends, it's on the shoulders of us. We are the ones that for such a time as this, God has trusted us in this movement. And it's being registered and voting is so, so important. But treating others with love and kindness and 100%. Showing love and kindness to others is what as a nation is what we really need to do. And that's a whole nother show.
Well, and I'm going to use that to talk a little bit about what's happening to, I am honored to say, my friend, Roger Stone. And I know you have known Roger and are very close with him as well.
I love Roger. He has been a personal friend. And this is personal to me. This isn't an attack.
Well, and that's Roger. Exactly what how I wanted to talk about that. Our government got broken, and it became a mechanism by which it attacks its citizens for following the law, for being for just living their life. They attack them on the First Amendment. They attack them because they support a president. They attack them because of political engagement. And we have the government machine who has basically, because they hate Trump, done everything they can to destroy this man's life, Roger Stone, merely for standing up against them and refusing to cave to their pressure, to their agenda, to make him turn against his president. He has not. And he's lost so much money, so much life, so much of his time, and may very well lose his freedom standing up for our president, which is why we have been focused very much. I know, Diane, you have been pushing this out, and many of us as well. We've been signing petitions. We've been working together to convince our president, as you know, he listens, to convince our president to pardon Roger Stone. And we're going to keep pushing that forward. So, Dan, you had this big, beautiful banner made. Can you tell me what you've done with this banner, and where is this banner going to be next?
Well, the banner will be traveling back to Pittsburgh with me. Well,
that's true.
But we will. We have plans to take it to Florida. We don't really have a plan of where we're flag dropping, where we're banner dropping, where we're Roger Stone dropping. You know what we want to do, women for Trump, and what we want to do is keep America great.
Yes.
The only crime, well, in this instance, and you know I love you, Roger. The crime that Roger has committed right now, that no coincidence in this, and I'm thinking of this now. It's been 1 year today that I got a text message at 3 a.m. of what we thought was going to be happening.
Mm-hmm.
And for 1 year now, we are lifting Roger in prayer because we know what he is being found guilty on, what they're saying he is guilty of is doing nothing but standing up for our president, our faith, our flag, and our freedom. Yep. And this can happen to any one of us.
Any one of us could be Roger Stone. The reason we're not Roger Stone is because it's not such a victory for the left to take you or me down. Well, maybe a little more me than you, but you know, each one of us is in the. But Roger's a big fish. Roger's a big fish, and it's a stain on Trump, and that's what they're trying to do. And so they go after Roger because it goes after Trump. But if they're going after Trump, they're going after us.
Well, Roger has been a conservative. He has been for the movement of the American experiment since he was in elementary school.
Yeah.
The stories of him being active in so many things are amazing. Mm-hmm. And I wish America could know that. Mm-hmm. But since even before the Nixon years, he has been such a proud supporter of being an American and for standing up for the truth and for speaking the truth. Yeah. And the thing that he is being accused of is nothing but never wavering, supporting this candidate. Correct. The president, number 45, that is in office today. Mm-hmm. That is what he is guilty of, because he would never waver. He would never sell himself out. And he speaks the truth with supporting President Trump. Yeah. That's 100%. What he's guilty of. So here's the thing. If we don't support freedom, if we don't support the right to bear arms and the First Amendment, freedom of speech, they're coming after every single one of us. Yes. And
now, let me ask you, do you think you have the media credibility to fight back against that? Do you have the resources it's going to take to fight the federal government? Poor Roger doesn't even have that. And he's using every bit of his his media capital to fight back. You and I aren't going to have that same resources. So if they can take down a Roger Stone, who can't they take down? And that's why standing for Roger Stone is standing for Trump. And it's standing for yourself. It's standing for your right to the Constitution. It's standing for your right to due process. It's standing for your right to not be slandered in court, to be allowed to speak your mind without fearing the government is going to come in and try to take your home and try to destroy your life, because they did the same thing to General Flynn. Whether they win the case against Roger Stone or not is irrelevant to them if they can break him. And they're doing the same thing to General Flynn. He's had to sell his house. General Flynn has. This is what they're doing. They're going to continue to try to drag us through these processes that we can't afford and bankrupt many of our great voices. And we have to stand up and fight back. And one of the things, we talk about pardoning Roger Stone, but there is also a Roger Stone Defense Fund. If you have a few extra dollars, please contribute to the Roger Stone Defense Fund. He has spent so much of his own money, time, capital. We need to be supporting and helping our patriots who are standing on the front lines, risking their future freedom, risking imprisonment to support our president. $5, you don't get a latte at Starbucks that day, so worth it. So please donate to Roger Stone's Legal Defense Fund. Share the Pardon Roger Stone hashtag.
Suzanne, if you could, and we'll put it underneath this link. We had a goal of 35,000 signatures. Now we're 800 signatures away. I'm going to post a link to the Pardon Roger Stone campaign that we have going on. Yes. Some of our boys, our brothers who speak out and support freedom, who we love, and we are so thankful for you boys. You make us proud. Yeah.
PYOB. PY my B. Just saying. I'm proud of all of you guys.
And we do. We love you. We support you.
Well, and I want to specifically call out and just give out a shout out and a thanks to Enrico Tarrio, who is running for Congress down in Florida. But he has been a tireless voice for Roger Stone. And I was able to sit with him during the Roger Stone trials here in Washington, D.C. And one, brilliant man, brilliant patriot, but also somebody who is very loyal to our country, very loyal to our patriots. And frankly, I think he'd make a great congressman. So if you're in Florida, please check out Enrique Tarrio for Congress, and follow him, because you're going to get
that link underneath this feed as well.
I will.
We need to support Enrico.
I will.
He's amazing.
He's amazing.
He doesn't stop. He doesn't stop. Here's, you know my passion for the border. My goodness.
Yes.
This is the same example. And what I have said with the border since I got involved with protecting and bringing awareness to the need to protect our border as an American is, if we don't speak out for our friends and family and American brothers and sisters on that line from El Paso to McAllen, and I've been in a vehicle that I've traveled that entire border. If we don't protect that border, they won't, those amazing, amazing Texans will not be there to protect our borders. If we don't protect Roger Stone, who was speaking out for freedoms that I wasn't even aware that I was going to be born into in this nation, we must support.
Yeah. And the same thing, if we don't support pro-Trump candidates and MAGA candidates running for office, we're not going to get Congress back, or we're going to get a bunch of rhinos in Congress. And that's not going to end the impeachment. And certainly it's one of the things we're concerned about in the Senate. Do all of these Republicans really have our back? Well, you know how you know that? Get involved and elect Republicans who have your back.
Things I like about Live, we weren't even talking about Roger. We're talking about the town CPAC.
So let's talk about CPAC, because Diane, you're going to be at CPAC. And the Trump Towel is going to be at CPAC. Can you tell us that's the first year that's happened? Because I was
Trump Towel is a proud sponsor of CPAC. Therefore, Diane will be traveling there with CPAC. So please stop and see us at our table.
Yes.
And we're also planning on giving a $1,000 donation at CPAC to another family who $1,000 will make a huge difference in their lives. Yes.
Now you can order a Trump Towel. They're $14.99, free shipping. Order one in advance if you're coming to CPAC. You'll be able to get them there, but get some for friends while you're there. Have yours ready. Everybody should have your Trump Towel on you at all times anyway. So get yours. Have it ready.
You can
have it available. Boom.
You can get it into rallies because it's not a sign.
Oh, you know what I actually loved? During the Defend Free Speech rally, when it was very sweaty and hot and the sun was beating down, I could trigger everybody with this, but I tucked my Trump Towel in the back of my hat like this. My neck stayed cool, and I could trigger everybody behind me, too. You see, these are pro tips, people.
You're so resourceful.
Pro tips. Now, so I hope everybody will be coming out to CPAC. The president will be speaking again. I think it's the third year he's been speaking at CPAC.
Oh, certainly.
It's fantastic to come down. It's going to be a huge year at CPAC because we are in an election year. This is a great time, great place to connect with other conservatives, other Trump supporters from around the country. 3 years ago, CPAC was kind of Trumpy. Trumpier, super Trumpy. This is the year to be at CPAC. We hope we see you there. I'll be there, as I always do, delivering news, doing live streams, talking to so many great patriots in the movement, making those connections so that we can push forward in the election year, making sure we elect our president, but also take back the House, expand our reach in the Senate, take back our state legislatures. That's so important. And I know Diane will be there with me, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see some great patriots. I am waiting. I'm excited for the moment when we're standing side by side, listening to Trump,
waving our towel.
Waving our towels.
Couple things. 2020 is a huge year, as you know. Where do we start? From the evangelicals for Trump when we were all in Miami and we were in prayer for a nation to put God first. And yesterday's march. I've been coming to these marches since my amazing daughter, who's 22, was 4 years old. So, we've been marching since before marching was cool. And with that being said, the president's presence at yesterday's march, phenomenal. No other president was brave enough to go there and say life begins at conception, which, by the way, is not my opinion, it's God's opinion.
Well, and what I find fantastic about it, why has no other president, even Republican presidents, why has no president ever done that? Because they have felt that it is not politically advantageous to express that genuine opinion. Now, what I love about President Trump is he is president of pro-choice women and men, as well as pro-life women and men. He's making the country great for both opinions, but he is strong enough in his own opinion to state his opinion proudly and own it. And that is why I think so many people have identified with that. We're so excited because finally we have a president who isn't playing a political advantage game. He's sincere and his integrity is obvious for all of us.
Well, that's why we love him as much as we do. He's an amazing president. He's an amazing person. He's not a politician that is in there. He says what he means what he says. And the towel weighs about 65 pounds. The banner has some miles on it. But please, 2020 is a huge year. It's also an election year. We cannot be thinking that this is a win, a landslide. Conservatives get lazy. They think, oh, everyone's going to be voting for him. This is going to be a landslide. We're not fighting other voters. We're fighting demons. We're in a spiritual war.
Yes.
A spiritual war that we have to prepare with our armor to go into.
Right.
Please.
If it's a landslide and we get Trump in office, great. And we don't take the House back, the landslide to win Trump the presidency for a second term will mean nothing. Nothing. We were given a second chance as a nation in 2016. In order for us to hold on to that without having everything reversed, that this great man who God anointed this nation and blessed us with this president, it was nothing but an act of God that we were given 100%. A second chance. We will not see 2020 with a win for the conservative movement, but let's move way further than that. 2024, 2028, 2032. We love our president. Yeah. But guess what? We have so much work to do and we have to educate through our actions how we protect this. It's not by any chance that we've been blessed with what we've been blessed. Well, yes, and as we've talked about, I know on the show here, especially after the Second Amendment rally, we talked about this. We're going to need to bring some of these lefties back from the brink of insanity, you guys. We're going to need to fix the country. We can't have a perpetual war with the left. This isn't working. People are losing their jobs. People can't work. People can't have normal lives. Our free speech is being destroyed. We're going to need to have a strategy to bring the country back. That's going to mean pressuring our Democrats to come back from socialism. It's going to mean having those conversations with your independent family members, maybe your liberal family members, learning to have those dialogues again. That's what's going to bring the country back. With kindness.
And facts.
And a shared love of America. Dan, one of the fascinating things I found at the Women's March, particularly because we were at the March for Life yesterday, 80% of the women I talked to at the Women's March, pink pussy hat, everything, did not support late-term abortion. 80% of the women, Democrat women, pussy hat march women, did not support late-term abortion. We have an opportunity for agreement. And the two-party system, how they've kept the deep state in power, is they have kept us divided and having those conversations on agreement. We need to ignore the deep state, ignore the political system that is being shoved down our throats. We need to be the political system we want to see in this country, the government by, of, and for the people. And that means engaging our fellow Americans that we might not agree on with facts, with love of country, and with love of humanity. And I think that's what's going to be so important.
Well, hats off to the Democrats. They've done something that we have not been able to do in my memory, that they have, through their insanity, pulled us together, pulled conservatives together.
That's right.
Ronald Reagan did it. He did it well, but nothing like what the Democrats have done. I say it's not Democrat, it's not Republican, it's not even independent. Yeah. We're in a spiritual warfare. So
and I think what we're seeing both from the Democrat Party and from the never Trumping rhinos that we fought on the Republican side, we have seen what we are losing. We have seen for so long we were asleep. We didn't realize how much of the Constitution was literally vanishing before our eyes. We now see it. So many more patriots have taken up the call to run for office, to engage in politics, to engage in political activism, to engage in citizen journalism. And it is so many of those people that are going to, they give me hope. Even on the worst days, they give me hope that we do have a chance to take this country back if we do it with great patriots like my dear friend Diane.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I thank you for coming into the studio. Please, Trump Towel, thetrumptowel.com. Pardon Roger Stone. We're going to be sharing all the links here at the bottom of the page and in the comments. I love this lady, and I love our country, and I love that we're going to save this country together. So thank you for coming.
I love you too.
Show.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
We'll see you at CPAC.